So I would say I'm pretty terrible at keeping up with this channel. I've had this channel for almost a year and I think this is my 6th upload. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know. I'm really good at running this channel. You know, believe it or not, even though I've only uploaded 6 times this year, I actually do think about this channel a lot, but the problem is I just don't know what to do with it. I've always been so obsessed with like making such a strict format. Like I wanted to do something where I summarize something about every single country in alphabetical order, but you know, you got Geography Now for that. I kind of wanted to do like the political systems of each country, but I feel like that would be so hard. And like when you get to Europe, a lot of them are so similar. Like Sweden and Norway and Denmark are like all exactly the same. And then when you get to Africa, they're all the same because they're all like dictatorships. I'm also really into world leaders, but I can't do something where I like summarize every single world leader because there's already a YouTuber doing that. That's also one of the reasons I've been gone. I've been working on memorizing the name of every single world leader. I don't know how many I met so far, and I would honestly have to like recite them and count as I go, but I've gotten all of the Western Hemisphere, like all of the Americas and the Caribbean, and I've gotten a good chunk of Africa, almost none of Asia, because like it's either names with languages I like don't even understand the script of, or like really long Arabic names. Like I do have Oman Sultan. The name is Qaboos bin Said Al Said, and that's one of the short ones. Same thing with Europe, just a bunch of confusing names like Kolinda Gribar Kitrovic. Another reason I haven't been on this channel is because been traveling. I mean, right after I made my last video, I went to Boston for 2 weeks for a debate camp. Then I came back, and then I went to Australia and New Zealand. I have the flag of New Zealand right there, and then I have the flag of Australia right there. Because I just kind of buy a flag from everywhere I go. And you might be thinking, oh, you've actually been to Palau? No. I hope to go someday, but I just think it's a cool flag, so I bought it. But there does seem to be one thing that I'm interested in that nobody else seems to care about, and that is the Human Development Index. Sometimes it's used synonymously with quality of life, but I'm not gonna explain what the Human Development Index is, because it is kind of self-explanatory. I'd always see like the HDI tab on a country's like page on Wikipedia when I just like get bored and read about a random country, and so I got curious and I wanted to know what that meant. So like that eventually turned into me kind of learning the place of every country. There's 4 different categories. There's very high, there's medium, and there's low. Countries in the very high category are considered developed, and countries in the other 3 categories are considered developing. They had this one list out for almost exactly a year and a half actually. It came out in March of 2017, but they finally released a new one. And wow, did they make a lot of changes. I'm just gonna kind of make some comparisons and tell you about the big details. Last year's Human Development Index had 188 countries and territories, and I say that because for some reason they included Hong Kong. And then this year's had 189. They added the Marshall Islands for the first time in a while. I think the last time they had it was like 2008. The Marshall Islands placed at I think like 106th. Last year there were about 51 countries in the very high category, and now there's 59. The countries that moved from developing to developed are Oman, Bulgaria, Romania, Belarus, the Bahamas, Uruguay, Kuwait, Malaysia, Barbados, and Kazakhstan. And I really do have faith that next year Palau will finally become a developed country because it's tied with Iran for 60th. Seychelles has retained its title as the most developed country in Africa. Mauritius is close behind. But this year, 2 new African countries moved up into the high Human Development Index category, which is actually a big deal because there were only 5 previously. Seychelles and Mauritius, as mentioned, and then Algeria, Tunisia, and for some reason Libya. But this year, Botswana and Gabon finally moved up to the high Human Development Index category. Also, Swaziland, Angola, and Cameroon moved up to medium. I don't know why I don't just start with the top, but since we're on Africa, the bottom of the list had some changes. You'll probably have to fact check me on this because I don't know how long it's been for sure, but I know that the Central African Republic has been in last place for a really long time. But finally, 2018 was the year they made it to 188th place. Wait, no, that's what place they were in last year, but they added another country, so now they're not last anymore. Finally, though, this year, the Central African Republic passed Niger, and now Niger is the least developed country in the world. And yes, I'm pronouncing it right. It's French. It's not. The names of the worst 5 countries always stuck with me. Last year they were Guinea, Burkina Faso, Chad, Niger, and then the Central African Republic, but this year it's way different. This year it's Burundi, Chad, South Sudan, the Central African Republic, and Niger. I'm glad that South Sudan finally made the list because it deserved to a long time ago. It had been slowly declining, but this year it moved down from 181st to 187th. And moving on from Africa, a bunch of other countries finally moved up into the high human development index category. Moldova, even though it was only in medium for 1 year, it moved back up. Paraguay, which they always taught me in Spanish class was like the worst country, but I guess it's not that bad. They moved up Turkmenistan. And lastly, I'm extremely disappointed to report this, but they moved America down from 10th to 13th. Now we riot in the streets, let's go. I know this is a Liberian flag, it's a meme. Just go to my main channel. So yeah, that's about it for the HDI. I don't want to go into too much detail because I want to keep this under 10 minutes because I'm not making any ad revenue anyways, let's be honest. I have like 17 subscribers. So yeah, hopefully I upload soon, and by soon I mean like less than 3 months from now. So you can stop the camera now.